let's go on to addressing specific red flags. The most important thing here is that no application is perfect, but you can't ignore the problem within your application. If it's a bad step score or whatever it is, don't ignore the elephant in the room. Whoever's reading your application is well aware of whatever deficiencies or problems you may have had. Own the result. And not just own the result. Show them how you reflected, how you assessed the situation, and what you did about it. And then once you've shown them what you've done about it, show them the results of that. So I'm going to go through a couple examples, and I'll show you what I mean. So one of the biggest red flags is a poor Step 1 score. It's a fairly common occurrence, and it happens to tons of very good applicants every single year. But whatever it is, don't make excuses. Don't say, you were feeling sick that day, or the test is subjective, tests don't matter, and standardized tests aren't a good way of testing people. Don't do that. Don't make excuses. You're supposed to be a doctor now. You're a physician. So don't make excuses. Take responsibility for what happened. You could tell them, I scored poorly on Step 1. It was a very humbling experience. But because of that, I was able to take a step back and evaluate what happened. What was wrong with my study habits? Did I not do enough questions? What happened that I scored poorly on Step 1? And then make the changes you said you would. Maybe you had a time management problem and you started using a specific application or a specific way of tracking how you did, or how much you studied, or what you did every day. And then once you show them what you did do, show them the results. The best way of doing this, obviously, for Step 1 is that if you score well on Step 2. So if you did do poorly on Step 1, make sure you write Step 2 CK before residency match. Actually, write it before the applications even go in. If you don't have a Step 2 score and you still didn't do very well on Step 2, you could always point to your NBME grades and your clinical grades. You could also point to your letters of reference and say that on the floor you demonstrated good medical knowledge. Prove the poor result was an outlier and not the expected result. In the next video, I'll be discussing a specific question asked during the interview that a lot of applicants answer quite poorly. As always, all of this information is a lot more detailed within the course, including PDFs and this full-length video. If you have any questions or have any comments, be sure to leave a comment below.